Welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I super appreciate it. This week, we're going to be looking at the cult classic Earthbound, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. This game has touched a ton of people in a lot of their lives, and people seem to have a story to tell with this one. So, what is my story? And is it one of the best games I've really ever played? Let's find out now. Here's the intro. Earthbound's story begins on the night of 1998. I'm going to assume 1995 because that's when this game came out. In a modern town of Onnet, a boy named Ness is awoken by a strange crash and boom, with things in the house coming to life. After the craziness Ness goes through, he goes to the hills of Onnet to investigate the crash earlier, only to be stopped by the police. Later, Ness gets a knock on his door. It's from his neighbor Pokey. Seriously, fetch this guy. After getting to the top of the mountain, they discover a meteor and meet a bug named Buzzbuzz, who tells Ness he's a boy of destiny. Ness and co make it down to the bottom of the mountain and are confronted by the cause of the meteor, the Starman. Ness wins with the help of Buzzbuzz, and the gang heads home. Ness takes Picky. I failed to mention that. Sorry, Pokey was the one who asked for the help to find Picky, and I failed to mention that. When Ness walks into the door, Pokey and Picky get scolded, and Mom kills your pal Buzzbuzz, who tells more of Ness's destiny, and giving him the Soundstone before certain death. Next day, Ness goes out on a huge journey. Ness is tasked to take on 8 melodies on the Soundstone. Seriously, Nintendo? Always 8? Ness goes around the world, gaining new friends Paula, Jeff, and Pooh. The 4 friends get 8 melodies, and Ness goes on an acid trip in his mind. He gains all the experience points. Ness trying to find Gygus, the bad guy, to stop him, has been revealed that it's too late by Jeff's father, Dr. Andonuts. But he does come up with a solution to send the 4 kids' souls into the past, in these robot bodies to stop Gygus. Ness and co are risking their souls to save the world. Ness and co are successful in their endeavor, taking out Gygus and Pokey. Seriously, go screw yourself, Pokey! And the 4 come back to the future with their souls returned to their bodies. Ness drops off his friends through the entire journey with no bad guys. Ness makes it home to his mother, they have steak, and the game officially ends. The story is freaking incredible. I mean, not a ton goes into the story, but man, it's really a fascinating story. It does have the same feel of Mother's story, but it's been so much enhanced from that story to this story. Earthbound has one of those once-in-a-lifetime sort of stories, and I'm super happy I got to enjoy this story for all time, now that Nintendo has accepted this game as a classic, and it really is. Characters are so cool as well, and the dialogue when talking to NPCs is so amazing, and I love that part of the game so much. Well, this game for gameplay, I'm going to be honest, is really standard for a JRPG. However, instead of random encounters like most RPGs, this game has a way for you to escape enemies if you want more experience points or get an auto win if you beat the Melody boss and the enemies will run away from you. The unique parts, which I went to in Mother 1 review, is that the RPG is set in modern times. Ness is the black mage, Paul is the red mage, Jeff is the chemist, and Pooh is the fighter, which all the abilities they have can really make or break your game, and mastering all the abilities will really help you throughout the game. Keep in mind, I played both of these games in the Mother series, are basically near identical, and I think this game is still harder. There are way too many instances in Mother 1 where you could get one shot by enemies. There wasn't too many instances in Mother 1 where the enemies could one-shot you, but in this game, it is full of them. If you're not prepared, an enemy could catch you off guard and wreck your day. Oh my goodness, especially in the second chapter where the trees can blow up and everything. They can also steal PP from me. But once you gain more party members, this game becomes way easier, and I mean way easier. You can rely on somebody to take a hit as opposed to that one character that you have in the party. And getting a game over sucks and restarting again because you lose half your money. Where I see that there aren't too many instances of this game, but your adventuring can be very frustrating if not prepared. Graphically speaking, this game is awesome to look at. The modern atmosphere and the colorful sprites, along with the sweet backgrounds in the battles. People hate the battles and how they look, but y'all don't know what you're talking about. These are sweet. All in all, the graphics are amazing in this game. The soundtrack is to freaking die for. Oh my goodness. It is so simplistic, but it's quite spectacular. The final theme just gives you a sense of accomplishment, along with the saddest feeling the game's over on the walk home. And the sounds are simplistic in nature, but it gives a sense of a cartoonish feel that each sound produces with the simplistic nature of this game. All in all, this game is fantastic with the sound, and I love it so much. Before we end this review, I'm going to end off with my story to tell. Like I said before, everybody has a story, it seems like, with this game and how it's connected them with this game. Let's find out my story right now. Okay, first off, I want to preface, I'm super nervous for this part coming up, and I hope it doesn't take up too much of the time of the video, because it does mean a lot to me. At the same time, I could talk about this topic all day. I want you to all get to know the real Dallin Smith. I don't want you to, the reviewer Dallin Smith who has cool videos to show and things like that and has really good opinions and everything. There is a different side to me, that I want people to see. It's not a bad side. It's a really good side, actually. A lot of people have a lot of stories about Earthbound, and I remember one of them being the guy Steven plays. Steven plays, he met his wife through this game. I've heard that frickin' Chugga Conroy met a couple people through this game. There's so many people this game touched their lives with. So again, if I'm slurring my words a little bit, I'm really tired, really nervous, and all that jazz. But it's touched a ton of people, and it has touched me as well. In May of 2013, I met somebody. Not my wife, not my kid, obviously, but I met this girl. We dated for a long time, and it was one of those once in a lifetime, like, everything was going perfect, and it was just amazing. It was so cool to finally be in a relationship. I'd never been in a relationship before, and it was cool. Her parents didn't like me. At the time, I wasn't a very religious guy. I wasn't a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints like I am today, and I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That does come into this particular topic. If you don't like that I'm part of a religion, I really don't care. I'm not going to change who I am, and I'm also not going to tell you how to change your life. If you like how your life is, fine. I just live and let live. I think a lot of people should do things like that, but anyway, her dad didn't like me. Not at all. And so it got to a point in the relationship where they were moving, and he manipulated her all the time. He would always make it so that, like, stuff that we did privately, which I'm not saying we did anything bad, because we really didn't, but there were things that, you just don't talk about with your parents. And she talked about them with her parents that we did. And it was embarrassing as crap, because I wanted to keep that side of the relationship, like, private. I wouldn't talk to anybody about it. She wouldn't talk to anybody about it. It's not like we were doing anything immoral. We weren't doing anything, like, terrible. It was just, it was stuff that was private, and people didn't need to hear about it. But her parents somehow wanted to have a reason to hear about it. It was really weird. It was really kind of a weird situation. She was the first girl I ever kissed and all this other stuff. And I really regret that. That's one of the regrets I have in my life, ever doing that. I wish my wife would have been the one I kissed first. But anyway, it's not a big deal. She was moving, and this game came out. Right when she was moving, I didn't get to see her all the time. And I was playing this game, all the time. I was playing Earthbound all the time. I would pour, 4 to 5 hours every night before I went to bed, which isn't a ton, but, I had a life. I had a girlfriend, I had a job, so, I couldn't play it all the time. I would have sat down. There was, when we stopped dating, and I got ready for my Let's Play, there was one time I played 8 straight hours of Earthbound because I love Earthbound that much. But anyway, she started getting a little crazy. There was one point where and let me preface this with this. Her dad would call her things like a cat in heat and just be like a total like douche. He was not very nice at all to her. And she took his side. And she actually listened to stuff he said. And she would repeat it. We were driving down the road one day, and she pissed me off. And I don't know. The thing is, like, I get mad. Like, you watch me, like, if there's a bad call on a football game, I'll get mad. You ask my wife. I get super upset at things like that. If things don't go my way in Fortnite or in a video game at all, period, I get upset. I was mad in a different way, though, when she said this. We were driving down the road. I was taking her home, and she said to me that, oh, well, people that play video games don't get married. Listen, Natalie, that's her name, by the way. You ever listen to this? My wife is a big fan of Halo, and she has played tons and tons of Fortnite with me. So you're wrong, and you're an idiot. So yeah. And but like during all this, she started getting kind of like mentally abusive towards me, and you know, it was a relationship that I didn't see that I should have got out of quicker, and things kept transpiring. Like, we went to an amusement park here in the state I live, and we weren't dating, but she held my hand the whole time, and I'm just like, what games are you trying to play here? But my point is that during this whole time I had Earthbound, and I remember a year later just starting the Let's Play and getting emotional like the first time I beat the game, getting emotional the last time I've beaten the game, which was, you know, currently when I made the review and when I did my Let's Play of the game. I remember like vividly, and you can go watch the video of me just the finale where I'm walking back home. Like, I was about ready to cry because it made me think of those times where like they were bad times, but they were good times. And I remember with her, I stepped into a church one Sunday, and it was the first time in a long time I went to church on Sunday, and I was going to stick it out for her, but then I had so many friendships just come my way. So many things that I loved about the gospel of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And it led me to finding my wife and to becoming this super happy guy that I never thought would happen ever in my life. And I thank it to meeting her, but ultimately Earthbound, for sticking around with me to help me to get that. Ocarina of Time and others have helped with that in that way as well. But just the time I was at, sticking to something wasn't my forte, but just playing that game and getting that sense of hope was just amazing. And I can't help but recommend that you try out this game. There's so many things going for it. The music is fantastic. The gameplay is really fun and pretty addicting. And the world is just so filled with so many great characters and NPCs that'll make you laugh. Anyway, folks, I'm running out of time for this video. In the next episode, we are going to finish off Season 4. I'll see you in the finale next week.
I miss you.